I could just stamp that again, actually. All right. Anybody want to try some?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
I missed about half the part that you were talking about though, because I was trying to texture this.
You can just put some in.
Put some on there to where you have to mold it?
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Yeah, not that stuff here. I'm just going to throw on some for you. What I'm going to do is, because I'm going right here, just kind of flick some on there. Willy-nilly. Now the vertical has a problem, potential problem, if you stamp it too soon and you get a vacuum pull, you'll pull it right off. Now, it's this texture mix. Alright.
Or just press it up on there?
Hold on. We're going to release it.
So then after you release it, just press it up on there and hold it for a second?
Just press all you got to do.
Yes. Just make it so it won't stick to it?
No, this is making I'm blending in the edge of this.
Some of that
Now just...
Some of that release came down the side.
Right here.
Yeah?
And hit the edge. Is that going to cause a problem?
No, if you wait for it to evaporate off, it won't. If it's wet in there, yeah, it's going to be a bond break right there.
Tell the cook all required. Now on top.
This is where you go into a more than. Don't go. What do you call it? A quarter, a half. If you're going 1.5 inches, 2 inches, you got a whole different story there. A whole different story. Believe it or not.
When we stamp,
so there's a window that you can't go from a quarter inch up to
I would say 1 1.5 inches, but the edges taper out. Right, they're going to 0, but you're not going to have a problem with it. Now you're treating that like all one. He's got the mud there. He's just mudding it all. I generally like to come in here and use an edge here, turn it, you know. But we're getting a not enough release. Should spray this. Should spray that. Don't go back on there again because that'll just.
Spray it again.
Yeah. And hit me this. Huh? What about it?
You ever use that when you have to like you use for
wash that off, spray it, release again. No, I don't mean now. I just mean that's what you would do if you needed that. Just wash it off.
I was doing something else I hadn't done.
This mud is almost too. Yeah, almost.
I think it's that.
Well, I don't think that got into
No, I mean when you put this on, when you were brushing it in, it ran down on it, soaked it, saturated it.
Yeah.
That don't look bad. A few like full marks right in there.
Because it doesn't look like this did.
Where? It's almost got too much texture in comparison in some areas, but if you look through this, it varies like that. This is where I like what I said. Get the formation built to where you have just the simple thing. That's the quick, fast, easy way to do this. But in the industry, this is king. This is how they're doing it. I don't necessarily subscribe to that. You'll see it a couple of places where I showed you over there. The majority of mine were tight, and I only had like a quarter, half inch on each edge. Minimal texture from me. This is maximum texture. What's the sense? You just covered up that panel, what? 5 inches, 6 inches? You know, up and over?
But you had ground it back so far too, so you had to cover.
Oh yeah, well I could have done that with the really slap-on texture, believe it or not. Could have done that. Could have done that. So, I guess we are, go ahead and kill Sky. We're pretty much done. All right, class, I just wanted to formally introduce the Concrete Decor magazine, which is a decorative concrete magazine that's probably the most recognized in the industry. And the publisher, Bent Mickelson.
That's correct.
And John, I'm sorry, the last name?
John Streeter.
Okay. He's one of the editors there. I just wanted to introduce them to you and suggest, like I said, they've got a lot of good articles. They've got a lot of manufacturers of tools and products in there, and they're trying to inform the industry. I'll let Ben speak to what their mission is.
Well, thank you, Jim. And it's certainly a pleasure to be here and to listen to this seminar. You know, you speak with a lot of practical experience, and that's certainly, I'm sure, something that everybody recognizes. It's, you know, there's a degree of passion that comes along with a man's workmanship, and it's quite honestly something that Concrete Decor magazine tries to emulate in the pages of the publication, because you know, this is a craft. We don't encourage or, you know, want to entice homeowners to think that this is something they can do on a weekend. This is a profession. That's why these types of educational programs are available, you know, is to maintain a professional you know, standard for these different aspects of the decorative concrete industry. And you know, so Concrete Decor is a great publication to support you guys. You know, we are constantly talking to folks in the industry that are, you know, new to rock features, to acid staining concrete floors, you know, to installing overlays in all different facets of the trade. And I got to tell you, there's probably something you'll learn, you know, today in Concrete Decor that'll help you do a better stain job on some of these rock features that you're doing on the job site tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So there's we really try to explore and find ways that make the information that, you know, maybe a focus on polished concrete, something that is applicable to a lot more people than just those that are doing polished concrete. So
I think through the years that I've seen, the diversity of your stories have really lined out a lot of diversity. I mean, you give a lot of good information, and there's a lot of good color photos and examples of what you can do in the magazine. But what do you not have some sort of a lead generating mechanism for the contractors, or that they could be listed through your website?
We don't at present. You know, generally Concrete Decor magazine has been a contractor website. You know, if you're a subscriber to our publication, or you're getting a sample copy of this magazine, or your trial issue, you know, inside the magazine, page 2 or page 4, there's always a password. So for this issue, you know, you have complete access to our online archives that we've been publishing for the last 7.5 years. Everything is archived on our website. A portion of it is available to the general public, but the features and specific types of technical how-to type stories, those are for the trade, and those are, you know, for the privileged individuals, you know, that are our readership.
I gotcha.
You know, today we have 44,000 readers. About 4,000 of those people are international, and that number has grown phenomenally in the last couple of years. In our digital magazine, this publication presents itself digitally. You can sit there and turn the pages on your computer screen. You can click, you know, on a feature story, and it will take you right to page 27, where you can start reading that story. You can zoom in. You can click on ads, and it'll take you right to company websites. So there's some really, you know, nice things about this magazine that, you know, somebody in Dubai or South Africa,
been getting a lot of,
wherever it is, you know, they have access to this information. Stories that you guys, you know, are saying, hey, Bent, you know what, took Jim's class, and you know, I'm down here in Medford, Oregon, or Toledo, Ohio, you know, doing this killer job for somebody. You know, you've really got to see what I'm doing here. You send me some photos. John and the rest of our staff, you know, look over these types of things, look at our editorial calendar and say, you know what, I've got to call Jim back and tell him that we're very interested in getting some additional photos. And in fact, we'll have a writer calling you on the phone and interviewing you. And I'll tell you what, once you get into that printed format with the magazine, you're read about by a lot of people out there in the industry. It helps you build credibility, because all of a sudden your name is something that homeowners, architectural types of folks that are looking at the products and services that you offer and saying, check this guy out, see how legit he is.